Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. In this video, we are making quick and easy projects using 6x6 paper pads. Having said that, a lot of, if not most of these projects, you can make with any size paper, including 12x12. I will be sharing at least 10 ideas with you today, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Idea number one is mixed ephemera, and there's a few different ideas in this category, but they're very simple ideas. I don't think we need to do a tutorial on these. So the first thing we have here are some tags. As you can see, I've just cut down 6x6 paper into two sections and just created tags. Here you can see this was one 6x6 page, and this is the back. Cut it in half, made a tag shape, and then each tag has a little topper up the top. I decided to do a little bit of sewing. I paper clipped some pieces of ephemera, like stickers and things like that, on all of them to make them more fun. And some of them have the twine wrapped around, which is more for looks than anything else really. And there we have it. I'm pretty sure this is nothing new. You've made tags before. Then I have, let's leave the tags here. Then I have this kind of a thing, like there's hundreds of literally things that you can do, thousands with 6x6 paper. So this is just to get your imaginative juices flowing. Here we have some little pieces that, you know, flip up, and then we have pocket, and some pockets here, just, you know, things like like that. Then we have a belly band over here, and on the inside, this is from packaging, some journaling spots there. And then on these two, I have a little paper clip here on the side and a bit of embellishing at the front, and this just opens like this. Nothing special, but pretty cool to put into mini journals and pockets, and filling up pockets in our journals. Basically, you can see that was a 6x6 page. There was a cut in half horizontally, and then I simply did this. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. A little bit of a charm thing happening over here to make it more fun. You can just go to town with this kind of thing. You start folding, cutting, and ideas start floating. Perhaps the ideas start flooding in, maybe that's the right expression. So let's make another thing. I'm just gonna go with the flow here. I have nothing planned, but just wanted to kind of demonstrate that previous point of you start making and the ideas sort of start flooding in. So let's say this one I want to do like a trifold, pretty much the same as this, but not cut in half. I didn't measure anything, maybe I should have, but here's a little trifold thing. What can we make with this? Something will come. I was thinking of doing bookmarks. That's another thing, obviously, that you can make with this, but I haven't made any for this video because I wanted to make stuff that's not so apparently obvious at first, which is why I put tags into this mixed ephemera category, because that's the kind of thing everybody will think of. Oh, I like where this is going. Can you guess what I'm making? I've never made this before. If this does work, I'm so going to explore this idea like crazy and make another video. And like really make it special kind of thing. So, let's see. Oh, yes. Ooh. All right, well, this deserves its own category, but it is destined to live in the mixed ephemera category. I love this idea. It was so quick and easy and simple. I do have to glue that down. Obviously, I'm not yet certain on how to do this. I've never done it before, but I shall be coming back to this idea in full force because I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love this. Let's move on to idea number 2, which is booklets, mini journals, and notebooks. So this is another idea that's quite obvious and apparent, and that can go in many different ways. So here you have a 6x6 paper that's been obviously folded in half to create a cover. And then I just did some little different things, like instead of cutting the paper, I have this waterfall effect happening there. And then on this one, of course, a lot of our 6x6 paper pads come with these borders type things. And I just simply glued the borders onto, only like 4, onto the edges of paper, and then you have this effect. And I also added beads on this binding. So one idea can go many different ways, but essentially we are folding that 6x6 in half and creating a cover for a little journal, a mini book. You can do traveler's journals where you have 3 of the exactly same mini books like this, and then you bind them in this way. I have tutorials for all 3 of these. I'm gonna link it down below. This one can't even fit. So basically we have 3 booklets in there. I'll show you the smaller one. 3 booklets in there, and then as you use the booklets, as they fill up, you can easily remove them from this binding because the booklets come out. I will link this tutorial down below. It's a traveler's journal type of a thing, and it's really quite easy to make. And as you can see, you can make any size, and you can have different types of bindings. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but you know, you can have 4 booklets in there, such as this one here. I have 4 booklets in there. I'm showing you this just so you can get all sorts of ideas and all of the different types of things that you can do. So you can have 4 little booklets or 3 little booklets like this, using 6x6 paper, making little covers, and then making a journal, you know, wraparound journal or TN style journal. Another thing that you can do, which I didn't explore but I want to, and I'm going to do now, is extend the paper. I'm just going to choose something that I want for my cover. Now, just so you know, throughout this video you might be seeing some papers that you really like this one. How cool is this paper? And you might be wondering where I got them from, and I always have people ask me. The truth is, I can't tell you. I can't even tell you what brand this is, because I got this off Marketplace or thrift store, and it came to me literally like this. It doesn't even have a brand. So anyway, don't ask me where I get my stuff from. I very rarely buy anything new. So there we have it. Okay, now what do I want to do? I feel like this is so obvious that I don't even have to show it, but I haven't done it. And I really wanted to, so I'm doing it now. And now I'm gonna make a fun edge. I have this thing that I rarely use. I only use it when I want this wiggly edge, which isn't very often, because after all, we do have things like this and we can just use those scissors. No need to buy any special stuff, but I feel like I wanted a little bit of a wiggly edge there. A little bit of lace would also work. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Wow, look at that. You can make your cards. I wasn't envisioning a card for this one, but that's what the size is the right dimension, which I don't know what this is because I didn't measure anything, but I had in mind, of course, a little booklet, and I have these papers left over from the projects that I was making. I cannot believe this. Is this the perfect size? Almost. Doesn't get any better than that. Now for this one, I'm thinking instead of doing the usual 3-hole pamphlet stitch binding, I'm going to bind this one with ribbon. I feel like it's such an easy binding to do, and I very rarely do it, so I'm gonna do it now. So going in from the outside, go in. So I've only made 2 holes, as you can see, top and bottom. And now come back outside, cut this ribbon off. Well, that's pretty cool. Tie a bow here, or I can do beads a little handle like this. The ideas are flowing, that's the word I was looking for before. So just 2 knots on the inside, so I would have to kind of bring this one all the way through, and then this one can go through once I have the beads on there. So that's a little bit time consuming. I'm not going to do it now, but how cool does this look? Easy to do. We're just gonna go for a bow. There we go, a little bow and a quick little journal notebook, and then we can of course embellish this. Maybe something like this. Too big. What about this? I'm gonna go with this one. I never know with these things if they're supposed to go this way or if they're supposed to go this way. I like it this way better, but I think they're supposed to go this way because the plants are going up. But you know what? I like it better this way, so I'll do what I want. I wish I was a little bit more assertive in real life like that, where I can say, no, I'll do what I want. Okay, I found a little packaging bag, which is too big for this project, but just to demonstrate a quick little gift in the making. Oh, how nice does this look? And then of course maybe we could add a little bow, add a little tag. Oh, maybe like this inside instead of this pencil. We can do this with a pen. Look at how cool does that look. I was not planning on doing this in this video or segment because there's so many other things I want to show you, but I love when I just go with the flow and then something like this comes out. I'm absolutely loving how this looks, especially with this, maybe different paper. All right, let's move on. Idea number 3, I love this one, is mini gift bags. Look at how cool and beautiful these look. Don't they just look fabulous? And they're so easy to make. And it can be for a little gift, like a pair of earrings, necklace, some pencils or whatnot. It can be like a mini little thing for Christmas where you have something inside, or you can have it in a journal, in a pocket with tags inside and ephemera and little goodies. So it's a little bag, and I'm gonna make one now. It's really easy to make and really quick. And I'm using this paper. This was sent to me in Happy Mail. And I am using this paper because 1, it's absolutely stunning. 2, it's not too thick. And 3, it's single-sided. So for projects like this, I like to use single-sided paper so that I don't feel like I'm wasting the other side if it's double-sided and both sides are pretty. Like this, you know, both sides are pretty and I would feel like I'm wasting the beauty for this project because we don't care about the inside. Okay. So as you can see, we folded it up and I left a little bit of a margin, a really kind of a small margin there. I applied a little bit of double-sided tape. Now if you watch my videos, you know I'm not a fan of double-sided tape, but some things like this type of a thing, which isn't going to sit on my page for the next 50 years, let's say, where things are going to come undone and the glue is going to seep through from the double-sided tape. For this kind of thing, for little things, I don't mind. Okay, so we have sealed that shut, and look at that. You can barely see the seal. I like it that it's on the side there rather than in the middle. And then with the seal thing at the back, you fold the bottom up and then you can just glue it down. What I like to do is fold this back up. These two go in, and then I just chop this inside part off. You don't even have to. It's just creating some extra bulk in there. That's why I like to get rid of it. And then we apply a little bit more double-sided tape on the flap here and glue that shut. And now you have this little bag kind of thing, and you can just leave it as it is. And of course it can become many different things. You can put it through your embossing machine, have effects on it, you can embellish and so on. But I want to show you how I did the handles. So you've seen me cutting off, you know, we all have these bits and pieces. I happen to have cut these off in this video, so I'm going to use these pieces because you need something like this for your handles. All right, next thing I'm going to do is apply double-sided tape onto the back of these pieces. All right, you can see that double-sided tape is there, and now I need to get my ribbon ready. You don't need much, but you want your ribbons to be the same size. So I'm going to get a length, chop it in half. I'm using brown ribbon here, and as you can see, I got all of this ribbon for $1 from Salvation Army. I used to do a lot of op shopping, which is second-hand shopping. I even talk about this in my book, where when we start a new craft, we first tend to spend time on acquiring things, and that's a hobby in itself. And then there comes a point in our crafting journey where we realize we have all of these things with no place to store them, and we haven't actually been making anything. We have been acquiring rather than making. I feel like a lot of people go through that stage. Well, I surely did. And so what's happened now is that I have a whole bunch of supplies. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like I don't need to buy more stuff, or I don't need to buy new things like new papers and collections and all that. All right, so you've seen what I've done here. I have just applied the ribbon onto the little piece of cardstock I have there, and now I have to glue it onto the inside. So let's start with this one. I'm just gluing it up the top here, but I'm gonna have to put it down so I can see what I'm doing. So that's what it looks like from the outside, and then on the inside, that's what it looks like. You can bring those pieces all the way to the corner if you want. And here comes this one. I try to align the handles at this point. And there we have a little, how cool is this? Now, I saw this idea on Pinterest, and I tried to make it work, where you have an actual bag that's not flat like this. This one's flat, it doesn't expand. But I really didn't like how messy everything is looking. I even tried with some of my pretty papers here. You can see I just did not like how scrunched up and messy it's looking, even though I preferred this idea to this flat idea. I like the fact that this opens up like a little shopping bag, but I couldn't deal with this messiness. Okay, but that's an option for you if you want to go that way. But I do like my little mini ones, not mini but flat. Okay, and now to complete the look, I was following the same formula for all of them. This is something I often talk about, don't I? You find what works for one, and then you just repeat for all the others. And they're all different, but they're all the same. So all I did is a little bit of ribbon, or lace rather, I should say. Then a bow. You can make your own bows, you know, or you don't have to. This is just an example of what I'm doing. You don't have to do this at all. You don't have to have a bow. And then a little flower of some sort up the top. So let's see, I have a whole bunch of stuff in my box on desk, you know, just things I throw in. Maybe even this, anything. Look at that. And here we go. I have my layers that I want to put together. I'm using a brad to hold everything together, and I just kind of do one by one all of my layers. Close the brad, apply the glue, and down it goes. Now that is pretty cool. Thoroughly enjoyed this project, and you can make a lot very quickly, especially if you're not embellishing. There we have it. How cool is that? How cool is that? All right, moving on to idea number 4, which is a pocketbook. And you can have it obviously this way, you can have it this way, and it's easy to make and it's fun, and you can just keep on adding and adding. So basically what I have here is 4 pieces of 6x6 paper, and there's no sewing involved in this one. I simply glued them to create pockets. So I have 4 pockets here, but you can obviously keep going. And let me show you how to make it real quick because it's very easy. Best to choose paper that kind of goes well together. This one's 6.5 by 6.5, but it doesn't really matter. And now let's go with, say, this one. Look at how beautiful this one is. I'm gonna hold that one a little bit longer. All right, so we have the 4 pages. If you want, you can also do 3. And now decide which one you want to be your cover. So maybe I'll go with this busy one as my cover. You fold it in half. Excellent. Now you decide which one is going to be your next piece. And now, because we want to create pockets here, we're going to fold this one in half, but this way. This is going to be a very quick demonstration here. I'm not going to do the whole thing because it's quite obvious what we're doing. All right, so we have created, not yet, but we will, a pocket here. But we're not going to glue this one down yet because the next one is going to go in between these 2 pages. So choose your next one, it doesn't matter. It's going to go like this. So I'm going to fold it in this way. If it's confusing at the moment, it shall all be revealed once you actually see. And now what's left is this here. So we have, of course I messed this one up. If you're working with double-sided paper, it's not going to matter. If you're working with single-sided, it's going to be obvious that the white pages go together because you only want the beautiful pages showing. And now you have this, and now when you fold this one, that one goes in here. So we're going to do the gluing next, but you can see here straight away we have 1 pocket, 2 pockets, 3 pockets, 4 pockets. We have our little spine there, and all the pages are nestled into this one cover. If you want to keep going, what's going to happen is you're not going to have any space here. So if you want to have like 8 pocket book, I would make 2 of these. All right, so let's say we've made 2 of these, and then I would just simply glue these together, and that would be an extra pocket there. So we're putting the books together like this rather than folding extra pages in here. And as you can see, even now, because of all of that bulk at the spine, the pages are kind of coming out. So I like to trim that off. Are you confused, or is it making perfect sense? So now what we do, we have your booklet in order. You have, look, 1 folded this way and 3 pages folded this way. We're gonna go in with the first one, and we are gluing the top and bottom because we're creating a pocket. Before you start gluing things down, I'm not going to do it now because I have other things I want to show you. You can cut in little notches on your pages before you start gluing down, so you can do little notches. All right, we have glued the first one down. Now the next one comes in. See how easy it is? Explaining it sometimes makes it more complicated, but people learn in all different kinds of ways. So I'll do both, explain and demonstrate. Now comes this one. Glue it down. And finally, there's your little pocket book. So what do we have? A book with 4 pages, but wait, they're pockets. No sewing, and quick and easy, right? 4 pockets and done. And then of course from this to this is what makes the project fun, when you put in, I mean, I didn't do anything special. I just kind of, you might recognize this from my previous video where I was doing the towels, and you know, just using basically I dove into my junk drawer and pulled out stuff and made little tabs and things to make it fun. Next idea is a mini album, and I have made a tutorial on this on my video, but I'm on my channel, but I'm gonna do a quick one now because it's quick and it's very easy. And then I will also show you this one. So this one is where we have lots of, you know, extra elements and flip outs and all pockets and all sorts of stuff. So one thing at a time. Over here we have an album that's oriented this way. This one we have the flip outs. This is, it's endless. Literally the things that you can do with 6 by 6 pages is really endless, and and then you imagine what you can do on all of those pages. This one's oriented this way, and then we have, of course, pockets. And what else do we have? We have little things like this, little writing areas, and then we have more fun stuff and more pockets. And then we have stuff like this. So the additions are what makes the project, but the construction of the project is as follows. So again, let's choose some papers, but this time I'm gonna go for the double-sided papers. Okay, so I have my 4 6x6 pages, and this album is going to be oriented this way, so we'll be opening up simply because the papers are kind of done that way, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. And now what we need to do is fold here, make folds so that it opens up easier. So I am going to use my scoreboard, but you can do it manually like this. You can make folds like that. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can still make the project basically. All right, I might do 1/2 inch there. Now bring the next one. Each piece that I bring in, especially if it's cardstock, I move it slightly, 1 millimeter. I give it an extra width, just a tiny little bit. So 1 millimeter, literally, tiny. I'll show you why in a second. So I just want to show you here. So this is just a minor detail, but when you have an album that has to open, okay, so that's why we made those folds there, to make it nice and flat when it's opened. What happens is, because of the bulk of the papers, if you just pay attention here, there's my first fold, and the next fold is a few millimeters to the right of that fold. Okay, it happens like that naturally. If you take your pages and fold them, that's what's going to happen naturally. So that's why when I'm scoring, I make each subsequent page slightly larger. If you don't do that, it's fine. You might just have to do a little bit of maneuvering and flattening down when your album is finished. Minor detail, perhaps it's not so important. Okay, next thing we want to do is bind the pages together. It doesn't get any easier than this. You need some sort of a hole punching tool. If you don't have one, you can use, something like this. You just need to make holes. I usually do 3 holes, 1 in the middle and 2 on the sides. I'll put this on screen so that you can see what we're doing. I'm just eyeballing it here. I usually, for this thing, I usually will measure, but I'm taking way too long today with showing you all this stuff that I need to hurry along. So make the holes. Generally speaking, when I'm making these kinds of things, I like to put eyelets in, but today I'm not going to, because it's not a must. So I'm just not gonna. And now I'm gonna bind it the same way that I bind, like when I'm binding a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I go in from the middle to the top hole, and then the remaining 3-hole, and then now I have to bring it back in through the front. So I might need to use a needle for this. So we're going back in through to the front. All right, chop this off and tie a knot. Would you like to come closer? And tie a bow. And here we have it, a nice easy peasy little project, little album bound. And of course you just have 4 pages bound together, and they're nice and flat. Oh, it was oriented this way, I forgot. And then you can do lots of fun stuff. So I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do. I've already kind of shown it a little bit, but here's, I took an extra page and did the scoring and glue it onto the page here, and put a little bit of lace to, blend the two. And now we're creating all of this space. So you can have a photo here, a photo here, a photo here. You can have journaling spots depending on how you want to use it. I'm saying photo because that's generally what mini albums are for, or are they? I'm not sure. It's a memory keeping, scrapbooking type of thing, so you can have layouts and little photos, and it can be a little brag book, flip downs, same way, you can see hinging pages and adding lace, and there we have that one, some of the ideas there. And let's quickly have a look at this one here. So I have a pocket and another pocket here, so 2 pockets, you know, some more tags. Here's more 6x6 ideas. This is a journaling type of a thing. This was made for journaling. The idea is that you can pull out all these fun interactive pieces and journal on them. You can add photos and stuff like that. Again, journaling, like I said. Down here, I've shown you that before. Pockets and more journaling space, and more space here for something fun. Okay, last thing I wanted to show you in this segment is this album. I made this in a tutorial. So if you want to make this was a very popular video actually, and if you want to make it, I will link it down below so you can go ahead and make this one. So I'm not going to take all of the things out, but you can see pocket, you can see a shorter page here. Then this one, what is this? Is it a pocket? It could have been, but it is not. Now this one flips out to the side. Now this is a pocket. All right, so that's a big pocket. That one's a flip. And then we have a little tuck spot here. And then this one is a pocket. I love interactive things where there's so many things to look at and pull out and write on and that kind of thing. Pocket there, little flip out thing here. And then this one also flips out here. So I love that, you know, very easy, just hinging pages together. This one flips down, and again a pocket here. And this is also, as you can see, a pocket, a slanted pocket. Oh, what is this? Oh, fun, fun, fun. And again, a pocket, pocket, pocket. Does this one open up? It doesn't. And then, of course, we have a pocket here at the back. That is pretty cool. So, like I said, if you want to see the full tutorial, it will be linked down below. But I wanted to show it here to give you ideas on all the flip outs and pockets and all the stuff that you can do with your little mini album. Idea number 6 is mini matchbooks, and again, really easy to make. I don't need to do a tutorial on this or anything like that. Let's make it look nice and presentable, shall we? So as you can see on screen here, I have 4, which means that I used 2 6x6 papers for this project. And look, that's all that is. Little matchbook booklets. So 6x6 paper that I cut in half, and then I folded the bottom up and stapled it down. Then I got all of my little offcuts, and I have a full box of these, you know, when I'm making journals, and then I need pages, and then I need to trim the pages to fit into the covers, and I have little bits left over. I keep them all, and I'm sure you do too. And then I use that to make a little booklet, bind it in, and then it becomes a little matchbook, kind of like back in the days when we had, or maybe even now, I don't know, when we had, you know, matches in here. How simple is this? These are beautiful little mini gifts, and also pocket fillers. So some of them, as you can see, I've made the pages stop right there, which again, minor detail, but it closes easier. However, the pages seem really short. I'm not sure if I like that. So then I ended up going with longer pages, and the pages also tuck in, but then it doesn't look as, it really makes no difference, doesn't it? Just sometimes I get bogged down with these minor little details. Should I cut the pages here or should I cut them here? You know, it's a 0.5 millimeter. Do you have that issue? Overthinking and decision making? Anyway, one way to kind of fight through the decision making process is with this kind of thing, like what I was speaking about before. When you find a formula, you see that it works, a little bit of lace, the bow thing, a little flower, and a brad, and then you just repeat: lace, bow, flower, brad. Lace, bow, flower, brad. I can't talk. You get the idea, right? They all look different, and it's the same formula, and that way I don't have to overthink, even though I still tend to overthink, like, should I do blue flower or should I do burgundy flower? you know, so it is a bit of an issue, but I think a lot of us have that issue. Anyway, that's this idea. Let's move on. Idea number 7 is tunnel books. I've done this in a tutorial, so I'm not actually going to do it today. And of course, you don't have to use 6x6 paper. You can use any paper. And we are creating, you can see this, hello. We're creating a tunnel book, which means every page that you open, it can be like a story, Alice in Wonderland, I'm thinking, where you have the rabbit here and the playing card here and Alice in there, you know, that kind of thing. Each opening gets smaller and smaller for each page. I'm sure you've seen this before. I'm going to link this tutorial in the description box so you can have a look if you want to make it. And the premise is the same, but you can have squares, rectangles, circles, or you can just rip out the opening. And the opening on your first page is the largest, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you get the idea. Fun, right? Wow, this idea can be explored in so many ways. If you just type in tunnel books in Pinterest or Google, you're gonna get bombarded with ideas. So I shall no longer dwell on this project, and we shall be moving on. Idea number 8 is loaded pockets. And let me just show you what they look like before they're loaded. We're using, of course, one 6x6 piece of paper. I'm going to show you how to make this. There's no sewing, there's only folding and a little bit of glue. And here we have 1 large pocket, 2 and 3. And I find once the folding is done, it's so easy. You're about to see. This pocket here is quite roomy. Because I have lots of space there, I wanted to put something thick in there. And I did the same for all of them. I created little booklets, again with my leftover pieces from previous projects. And I made these little booklets. I just cut the pieces down. And I have these chunky, thick booklets to fill up the space in here. And I think it looks so beautiful. So let me show you how to make this. Okay, so at this point, decide what do you want the front to be? What do you want visible? This side or this side? I want this side visible. So that's how you're going to fold. You're going to fold it in half with the side that you want to be visible. So you fold it once, make a nice crisp fold, and then you fold it again in half. The secret is not to, fold once and then open and then fold the other way. Don't do that. Fold it once and fold it again. So you have this little square. Now you will open it and you will take one corner and go to the middle. All right, perfect. Crease. Now the opposing corner is also going to be folded, but not all the way down. It doesn't matter where, you choose where you want to go, but you don't want to go all the way down because we're creating layered pockets. We are creating this. If you fold all of that in, you're going to have 2 pockets that are at the same level. All right, so you just kind of eyeball. Anyway, I'm going to go here. There's one more step before we're done. So we folded one corner all the way to the middle, one corner wherever you want to stop. The one that's shorter, we're going to have a little cut there. So always think the shorter corner gets a little cut. That's how I remember it. And then you stop in the middle, right there. So that's all we're creating. And then we fold. So we're over here with the shorter one that got the little nip that goes up, that goes to the side, that goes this way, and we have a little thing, and that's all there is. That's all there is. And then I go in and ink the edges so that the pockets are visible. You can see I used the black ink to ink the edges. You can go use your corner punch over here and whatnot. But one last thing we have to do is kind of close this, so you can decide if you want to apply glue onto the 2 sides and then create a pocket like this that doesn't open on the side. It's just a pocket up the top like this. Or do you want it to open on the side like this? Yeah, You want it to open to the side like that? Well, all right then, I hear ya. So what we're gonna do now is just apply some glue on the bottom here and shut. Done. Done, 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 done. Now, how easy was that? You can make hundreds. You'll probably get bored, but you can. I'm going to do one more, no talking. We'll just get on with it and make it, just get it done. I'll do a little bit of talking. Choose your side. This will be my side. Fold in half and fold in half again. Now, we're going to fold one corner in all the way to the middle. And the other corner, I'm going to fold somewhere here. And the shorter corner gets the cut. So we cut here, but I can't see my crease, so I'm going to turn it around and cut from here. And now we flip the shorter corner up. Then this one goes to the side, and this one goes up. Okay, and that's it. I'm not going to finish this because I have other things to show you, but like I said before, I have little booklets in there, which I love that idea. Have some tags, and then of course, you know, the typical thing that we can do with our 6x6. These are all actually leftover projects, leftover papers, I should say, from when I was making this project. You see, beautiful covers. I cut it down and I had, see, they're all exactly the same papers. I'm not sure why I'm showing you this, but I'm sure as a crafter you already know we can use every single little bit of paper. All right, let's move on. Idea number 9 is cards, and I'm sure that you would have, and you probably have thought of this on your own, but I'm going to show you this one little trick. I saw this on Pinterest, and that's 4 cards with 1 paper, and then we have these also with just the 1 paper. So there's a way that you can cut out down the paper, which I'm going to show you now, and then create in no time, you know, little things like this. Well, they're not little things, they're cards. So you get your preferably single-sided paper because we don't want to waste anything. You want a paper that's non-directional. So something like this, anyway you turn it, it goes. Whereas something like this is directional. It's upside down when it's like this. You don't want that. You want a non-directional paper, and I'm going to go with this one. You turn it around and then you mark 1.5 inches on each corner. So 1.5 inches, or any measurement that of your choosing. Then you draw lines from here to here, those markings, just 2 lines, and from here to here. All right, and then you cut. And now you have 4 pieces that look like this. And you can go ahead and ink the edges. I think that always looks good. Then you get your cards. This is just cardstock that I folded in half. And then look at this. Done. You glue it down. They don't all have to be in the same corner. You can kind of, you know, do different things. It doesn't all have to be like this. But you can mass produce this way. And then once you have all of your pieces glued down, then you find a formula that works. In this case, I did stamping, which I quickly decided that I'm not a fan of. I don't know why. I don't like the stamping. And then of course I went in with the flowers. You can see exactly the same. I mean, you can make this, I'm not a card maker. You can make this look so much better. It's just ideas, right? So on this one, I decided I didn't want any writing. And I think I'm not into card making. So the way that I would actually use this, perhaps these with the writing, especially, you know, thinking of you and best wishes, this can be nothing other than a card thinking of you. Whereas these, I'm thinking mini journals, right? Little notebooks. Oh yes, that's what I'm thinking right over here. So that's what I'll be making with these. All right, how easy was that little... Now, if I tried to put it back, I wouldn't even know how to put it back. Jigsaw puzzle. Oh my goodness, I can't put it back. Anyway, how easy was that? Idea number 10 is envelope pockets, and I love this. And I have, yes, I've made a tutorial on these before. I think this is an origami craft, and this used to be used as like drinking cups, I'm pretty sure. Drinking cups on the go, but that's not what we're making today now, is it? No, because we're making envelope pockets. I'm going to show you how to make it, even though you probably know how to make this because everyone seems to know how to make this. I mentioned in the tutorial that I did on how to make this, how I have been dwelling under a rock or something to that effect. And then lots of people said, I'm a rock dweller too. So I'm going to show you how to do it again because you might be a rock dweller. And of course you can use 12 by 12 to make large ones like this. 12 by 12 paper, as long as it's square, it doesn't matter what size. But today we're working with 6 by 6. At this point, you decide what you want your outside to be and what you want your inside to be, and that's how you fold. So if you want this your outside, you fold it this way. So you fold diagonal and try and get precise, which clearly I didn't, because this is what I was trying to avoid when I was saying try and be precise. So, but it's fine because it doesn't have to. I like to be a little bit precise here, so I like this point. It really doesn't matter if you're going to embellish it. I like that point to be right in the middle, so I use this at the back. Make sure the envelope is straight, and then I bring this point down here. I'm just complicating things. Let's get rid of this. You can't see that fold yet, but now you will. All right, we have a fold. Now, let's get close. You get to that corner there, and then you fold this to the line, to your previous fold. Now over here, you hold that corner there in place, you fold, and you go up here. So you don't do this, you don't fold like this. Even though you can, but then you have to make sure that both sides are folded the same. I just go up. Crease down. The thicker your paper, the harder this project is. Well, it's not hard, but you know, folding generally is more difficult with thicker paper. So at this point, you can round the corners. I like the rounded corner look, and I also like to ink all the edges. And now, apply your glue there, apply your glue there. And these are being folded under the flap. And now, of course, we glue this down like so. And then you can, of course, fill up the pocket and embellish. And as you can see, again, the formula thing, you know, flowers and all of them, tags and the in here. I've seen, you know, tea bags, a tea bag and a little spoon, hot chocolate and a little spoon. In fact, I did that as part of my Christmas. You've probably seen this on my channel before, but in case you haven't, maybe you haven't been here on my channel before, so there we have it. What do you think? I quite like it. I like it indeed. Okay, time to recap. Idea number 1 is mixed ephemera, which is actually a few ideas in one. We have the tags, we have the pen holder, we have the little flip out things, and we have the little pocket things, and you know, you can go to town with this one for sure. Idea number 2 is booklets and mini journals and notebooks and all that fun stuff. Idea number 3 is mini gift bags. Idea number 4 is the pocketbook. Idea number 5 is the mini albums, and you can really, again, go to town with this one. Idea number 6 is the mini matchbooks. Idea number 7 is the tunnel books. Idea number 8 is the loaded pockets. Idea number 9 is the cards. And last but not least, idea number 10 is the envelope pockets. I try to rearrange so that everything fits, but not everything can fit because I made a whole bunch of projects, as you've seen. I hope that you find this video inspiring. I hope you've seen a new thing perhaps that you haven't done before, even though a lot of these are pretty straightforward, easy projects that most likely you've done before or that you could have thought of yourself. But sometimes it's nice to be reminded of all the things that we've done in the past and completely forgotten about. So please let me know which one of these is your favorite. For me, it's very hard to choose a favorite because I love all of them. I do especially like the little mini gift bags. I've never done these before, so that's a new for me. And the pen thing, which I can't find where it is, I think it's over here somewhere. I like that idea. I'm gonna explore that further for sure. I think I'm gonna like make a video on its own of all the different ways that you can make little pen holders. What do you think of that idea? And the pen thing, which I can't find where it is, I think it's over here somewhere. I like that idea. I'm gonna explore that further for sure. I think I'm gonna like make a video on its own of all the different ways that you can make little pen holders. What do you think of that idea? I really hope you feel inspired. I'm gonna pop this one on screen as well because I love it so much. So again, please let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.